Yo guys, welcome back. My name is the Mike James, and in this video we're going to be talking about the 3 reasons why streamers fail in 2019. All that and more, guys, coming right up. So welcome back. For those that don't know me, I am the Mike James. I like to call myself an edutainer. I focus on educational content and entertaining people with a focus on live streaming and personal branding and all that and blah blah blah. And I love doing it. But welcome back to those that do know me and those that are already in the community. Today I'm going to be talking about 3 reasons why streamers fail. Let's kickstart into the first reason why streamers fail on Twitch and any other streaming platform is because they want to cheat the system. So we have this whole system in place where people come onto a platform and they have certain ideas in mind about what they want to achieve, what they want to do with the platform. So the first thing they do is they kickstart and then they realize that things just aren't going as quickly as they'd like. They haven't educated themselves on what's important to grow on the platform. So one of the first things that people do and tend to gravitate towards, and this is just in every industry, this isn't just in streaming, this is YouTubers, streamers, artists, anything like that, gravitate towards communities that pretend to be able to boost your overall statistics and things in your given area. So the biggest example of this in the streaming universe is that people gravitate towards support communities, and as soon as you do this, if you don't leave, you're going to end up quitting streaming. And the reason why is because, yeah, you might join a good community where you end up with loads of friends, but the problem is everybody joined that community for quick success and all the same reasons. So what you're going to end up having is you're going to end up having a group of friends that you say, look, I've joined this community, everybody doesn't like the community except I've made loads of friends on this community. But the problem is it's all transactional relationships. And for what I mean by transactional relationships is that everything that you do for your friends is transactional, which means the moment that you stop doing the promised transaction to them, they'll realize and they'll stop doing it back. Not everybody, there is some people out there that have genuine intentions, but it's much more likely in these sort of communities where your relationships and friendships with people are going to become transactional. And these are the relationships that you see on Twitter where one person says something to another and then they end up blocking each other, and then they start this whole like drama because they're expecting things from each other. They've got expectations, and when they're not being met, then they think that the other friend just isn't living up to what they're delivering. And you can kind of scope what I'm saying by what the outcome of this is. So if you are new to streaming, or if you're just getting into streaming or thinking about starting, it's gonna be super hard, but trust me, in the long run it's gonna be a lot easier if you just completely avoid any system or community that claims to be able to give you fast growth or give you growth or give you somewhere to make lots of friends. Now look, I'm not saying that you shouldn't join any community at all. There's some genuine communities out there. I mean, my own biased opinion, you've got people like Ashnichrist with the Yam Fam, you've got Sedi, the Green Dumpling, the Dumpling Tribe, and you've got I'm Stallion. All of these people have been on the podcast before and have spoken about their communities, and if you'd like to check out any of those podcast episodes, links will be down in the description. But they all have great communities that have people that join them because they're interested in the ideals that the streamer that created these communities hold, because you support what the streamer believes in, therefore you share that belief, and that creates a base foundation for a good friendship on any streaming platform. Number 2 on the list of reasons why people quit streaming, especially in 2019, is unrealistic expectations. Now I'm going to be talking a little bit more about this in a minute because this all kind of ties into one penultimate theme at the end. But unrealistic expectations is the biggest pitfall in streaming. Look, everybody's journey is different, and that is probably the most cliche thing you'll have probably ever heard. You'll literally be sat there like face planting the pillow if you're in bed, or you'll probably just chuck the keyboard in your face. Yeah, don't do that. But the reason is because it's true. There's a lot of unreal expectations because people expect that their journey is going to be the same as everybody else's. In fact, my latest podcast episode pretty much goes against everything that I would have said before, in that a good streamer named Sporefee, who is a Final Fantasy streamer, she actually streams every single day without fail. Even if it's just an hour long, she has streamed for over 2 years every single day, and she has over 400 viewers per stream every single day. And the reason she gets that is because she's consistent, but because her journey is just crazy unique. She listens to the community, she delivers to the community what they want, and she creates a good environment for everybody. But the point is that she has been doing that for 2 years, and people look at her journey and they think, oh, if I start now, maybe in 2 or 3 months I could be there. But the truth is, most people starting streaming now are still trying to get past that sort of 10 viewer mark a year down the line. And it's like that because it's such a competitive community, and also because, you know, there's a mix of reasons. You know, people not learning how to market themselves correctly, people not creating content for YouTube like what I'm doing now. There's hundreds and hundreds of reasons, and I can't get into them in this one video, but ultimately it's just bad expectations from the platform. So the final reason, and this kind of wraps what I've already said up, and it kind of includes them both, but the biggest reason why people are failing as a streamer is just bad mentality. Now, obviously, this kind of is very, very broad, but let me just highlight some specifics of what is really ruining streamers right now. And number one is getting into streaming for a career. One of the biggest things that we see, in fact, there's probably hundreds of people doing it now on my own videos where they've found a streamer or they've just found Twitch and they're like, oh, this is cool, I'd love to get into this, I'd love to do this as a job. So the first thing that they do is they go to YouTube and they start searching for guides and different sort of guides on, from, you know, you've got Harris Heller, you've got Ashnichrist, there's a few others, and the names escape me, but they are some of the predominant people with a voice in the sort of guide space. I'm sure there's more, I'm sure you'll probably comment that there's more, but ultimately videos like these, like what I'm making, aren't necessarily designed for beginner streamers. They're designed for the intermediate streamers, the people that have got affiliate and have been streaming for 6 months. And the whole reason is it's kind of a reminder, and it's basically just a way to like help people focus their content in and help people grow. But ultimately the bad mindset leads to things like getting into it for a career. So straight off the bat, or right off the bat, sorry, people are financially focused on streaming, so everything they do is trying to bring in money, which is, by the way, it's not necessarily a bad thing. If you want to do that and you have a very, very good business mind and you have a very good business plan and you get into streaming, you can start making a very good income with very little audience if you have a very good business plan, and that's again for another entirely different video. However, most people think that all they're gonna do is just play games all day or every other day and just try and be funny and try and just be a personable individual that can just grow an audience. And that is kind of the number one biggest killer right now for streamers, because they are growing on Twitch, they're growing on Mixer, but the problem is that they aren't making much money, and so their expectations, again, like we spoke about in point number 2, their expectations are falling short of what they expected to happen, and people either end up quitting, they end up having to get a job. But that kind of brings me on to the second point of, you know, of the bad mentality, is that people relish in success. So the moment that somebody starts getting like 20 or 30 viewers, the first thing that they do is they'll be like, oh, I'm quitting my job, or I hope not, but I'm dropping out of school. But basically, people start dropping life commitments so that they can jump into streaming full time, and this ultimately is going to kill your channel, and it's going to kill your vibe, because streaming incomes are very, very fickle. They aren't solid. 1 month you could go from having 300 subscribers, which is bringing in $600, and it could drop right down to $80 or 80 subs in the next month. And you might think, well, that's fine, I'm still earning $160. But you've got to remember, as your income goes up, so are your expenses, because you're going to start realizing that you can afford to go and buy a car again and get car insurance. And now you've got all these things that rely on your stream to basically build the same level of income every month. And then ultimately you're going to realize that you can't afford to pay for it, and then it's going to get taken away, and then your whole life goes up in flames. So the biggest thing that I can recommend to anybody that is watching this video, now look, I don't want to deter anybody from starting streaming. If you've had any of these thoughts going into streaming, like, oh, I'd love to get into streaming for a career, that's great. The best piece of advice that I can give to anybody, and trust me, it's super cliche and it's super obvious, it doesn't even warrant saying, but it's just to focus on having fun. Focus on creating content because you enjoy it, not because it's going to bring in views or bring in money. That's the worst thing you can do on Twitch, and that's what's going to lead to burnout. Same for YouTube, Etsy, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you're doing. Don't get into it for the views or for the engagement. Get into it because you enjoy bringing that to the screen, or bringing that to the, to the audience. And Peter McKinnon actually said it. For those that don't know who Peter McKinnon is, he's actually a vlogger and photographer, and he actually said it best. Don't get into content creation to please everybody else. Just create what makes you happy. And then ultimately, anybody else that gets happiness from that content is going to be drawn into your personality. So trust me when I say this, you do not have to try and be somebody else on the platform. Be yourself. Create things because you want to create it. If people will find you, people will discover you if you market yourself correctly, and if you have a strong enough social presence. And people will find you, and you will build an audience around that. You've just got to figure out the best way to do so. And I'm thinking about doing a video on that, but we'll see. I might do it later on this week, who knows. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button down below. Don't forget to leave a comment letting me know why you got into streaming. And guys, I'm super happy to announce that very, very soon, I am going to be starting vlogs. I finally got the Tokina 11 to 16mm lens. This was a stream goal for a very, very long time, and I actually ended up putting most of the money towards it myself that I've earned, working. So I am going to be starting a vlog channel. I've already made it. You can go and subscribe to it. Link will be in the description. And I will be using this to make videos in the very, very soon future, when I get the microphone that goes on top. So guys, I really, really do hope that you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. I've been the Mike James, and I'll see you guys next time.